Hey guys, today I'm talking about Necron Wraiths. Okay, Necron Wraiths. They are a fast attack unit in the Necron army. However, they are also a close combat unit in the Necron army. Close combat in the units in the Necron army at the moment are pretty shit. I'll go over why now. Okay, let's take the example of the Pariah. The Pariah has good strength and toughness. He's got an awesome weapon in the form of a war scythe, and he gets crazy rules, like makes everything within 12 inches, leadership 7 and stuff, and he's fearless and all that. Okay? But can he reach combat to be that effective? No, because he hasn't got any way of getting there. He can't be teleported by the rest of the army, and he hasn't got anything that can get him across the field more easily, like infiltrate or deep strike or whatever. So you're just left there plodding along until you can reach combat and be effective. You do have a ranged attack, but that's not the point. Other close combat units. Flayed ones. They have the means of getting there, but they're not that powerful when they get there. So, yeah, best they can do is tie up a few people. They're the same points as warriors, but whether you'd want to throw them willingly into combat is another story. With Wraiths, it's a kind of skew on that again. They're very good at getting to combat, but staying there and doing their job well enough is where they fall short. I'll just go over their unit entry at the moment, and we'll talk about it as we go. They are 41 points per model. 41 points per model is quite high. If you think about a Terminator being 40 points, roughly, and it has options such as a power fist, and it can deep strike, and it has a 2-up save and a 5-up invul. Yeah, this guy has much less. Weapon skill 4, it's about average. More weapon skill would be better for a close combat unit. So yeah. Ballistic skill 4. Ballistic skill is just repeated from a different stat line. It has no implication on this unit at all because he has no ranged attack. Strength 6, not bad. It's a good stat. Keep it. It's going to hit hard. Wounding on 2s in combat. That's always nice. Toughness 4 and 1 wound. You're very brittle. You're not going to survive very well. And I would definitely say that Wraiths needs a full unit to be of any use at all. So, yeah. What else? Initiative 6, not bad. You're going to hit before your opponent, and with Strength 6 you're going to hit them hard. You also have 3 attacks basic, so 4 on the charge, and with a full score of 3, that is like 12 Strength 6 attacks on the charge. In that charge, you will have to take that opponent out. Otherwise, you're going to die quite horribly. What else? Leadership 10 and 3-up save. Okay, 3-up save, that's not too bad. For 1 wound, toughness 4 though, it's not going to protect you. If you just think, rapid fire from bolters, there's only equivalent of about 3 marines there. They're going to die quite easily. Yeah, they have some flashy close combat, but that's it. They're going to die quite easily. Or will they? We'll go over the rest of what there is. As I said before, squad size 1 to 3. Not so good for Necrons because they need more of the same type within 6 inches to let them get back up. If they don't have that, then they're going to get removed outright, and it's going to count towards your phase out, which is never good. Meaning that you'd have to take 2 squads at least and work them in tandem together to make the most out of them. I do this with the destroyers, and personally I prefer destroyers to raids because why engage in close combat and be mauled horribly when you can just shoot them with lots of shots? They have a strength 6 gun instead of a strength 6 close combat weapon. So why go the risk? Also, destroyers have a massive range advantage. They can move 12 inches as a jet bike and then fire at a range of 36 inches. So you never need to get anywhere near them. So, raids, it's pretty much like a destroyer, but for close combat. Okay, weapons and war gear and stuff, they have claws and barbed tail, as detailed in the codex. But whether this means that they get extra attacks, or having more than one close combat weapon, it doesn't actually say. The FAQ doesn't clarify this either, because probably not enough people asked it. People asked, okay, do they get slowed by difficult terrain? Do they have to take dangerous terrain tests? No, they don't, because they move as jet bikes. I mean, so long as they don't stop in a piece of terrain, obviously, then you're fine. But yeah, apparently they never need to take dangerous terrain tests, which is good. Dangerous terrain tests are annoying. What else? Yeah, they can move as jet bikes, but according to the FAQs, they still count as infantry. It's not clarified in the codex because it's a bit of an old codex now. But when it gets re-released and reprinted and stuff, it'll have the unit type, obviously. Special rules. They are Necrons, so they can get back up. But if you don't have 2 squads of them, they probably won't. And you don't want to be taking like really small squads of raids, because it's not going to work. Right, what else? Phase shift. Okay, this is quite good. Because they can phase in and out as they move, raids have a 3-up invulnerable save. Basically, the term raids is given to them because they move in and out of existence on this plane, for example. So for example, you're running along on one level of reality, you phase into a different level, so you're not technically there, and that's how they avoid being killed. In game, this works out as a 3-up invulnerable save. So yeah. When attacking in or behind cover, raids count as having frag grenades. It says they will strike simultaneously, but this has been cleared up, so obviously they will strike in initiative order because they have frag grenades. It's been cleared up in the FAQs, I think. There's a lot of stuff on the FAQs for each army, so go check it out on the Games Workshop website. Just type in frequently asked questions into the search bar and you should find them. Easy enough. Okay, and their last special rule. Wraith flight. Now this is their defining special rule. Raids move in the same way as jet bikes, but because they can pass intangibly through terrain, they ignore all terrain when they move. So any terrain at all on the board, completely ignored when you want to move raids. They regard no terrain as impassable and never have to take difficult terrain tests. Raids cannot end their move inside objects, obviously, to avoid being shot at, and they cannot move through enemy models or vehicles either, because you have to attack them, obviously. This is quite interesting. It lends you to play them in a way that's run them forward up to a point so you can hide behind a piece of terrain, and then, when you get the chance, pop them through the piece of terrain and assault a unit. But you'll want to assault that unit quickly and make sure they have been rapid-fired by some warriors or something first, because otherwise your raids are going to die if they're any bigger than, say, about 5-10 models. Yeah, especially if it's like Marines. They have up to 12 attacks on the charge of a full squad of 3, and if you charge them, at strength 6, that's going to wound something. But whether it'll kill those Marines sitting on that objective at the back, left to be seen. Remains to be seen, I should say. Yeah, at the moment, raids don't really accomplish what they are meant to do. Actually, I'm not actually sure what they're meant to do, because they don't have any good equipment, like rending or anything like Steelers have, or even like disruption fields. Disruption fields in current codex are good for assaulting vehicles. They don't have the option to take them even. They could do with it. I mean, Malignants did a anti-tank video for Necrons and suggested they could be used against rear armor 10 vehicles and transports and stuff. With strength 6, it's possible, but I'd still like the option of having a lot of disruption fields just charging at the back of something and possibly mauling it. Basically, they're overpriced for what they can accomplish, and what they can accomplish is not very little anyway. So until we get a new codex and these guys get revamped, I'd say I'm not going to field them myself. People have had success with them in the past, but that's only by taking like 3 full squads, filling up all your fast attack with them, and then throwing a destroyer lord with them and just like hurling them forward. That's the only use I can say at the moment. Don't put them on their own, put them with a destroyer lord with like a war scythe, and then have them accompany him so that they're all moving at the same speed and they're all going for close combat, and they're all going to like smash a unit quite nastily. It's the way to go with raids, really. Other than that, they're not any use. Don't field them on their own, and if you're not going to attach them to a destroyer lord, don't field them at all. Okay, that's been talking about Necrons raids. I shall see you next time. Bye bye.